athletes and coaches, welcome to another installment of the Parisi Speed School monthly newsletter. I'm here with my son Will, and we're going to talk about the hamstring today and why creating a stiff hamstring actually is important to be more explosive and jump higher. Now, you might be saying to yourself, a stiff hamstring, don't we want loose, flexible hamstrings? Hamstring injuries don't always happen because the hamstring is stiff. A lot of times hamstring injuries happen because we have tight hip flexors or our glutes aren't firing, which causes the hamstring to work overtime or work more than it really needs to. We should have hamstring flexibility to the point that we need for the specific event, no more. Any additional hamstring flexibility that you need for a normal range of motion in your sports skill actually can be detrimental to your sports skill and to your ability to explode off the ground. I know this is a paradigm shift, and I know you might be saying to yourself, this doesn't make sense. It really does, because your hamstring acts as a spring. Do you want a loose spring or a tight spring? But most importantly, we have to have a tight spring at the right time, when our foot hits the ground and when we jump. So that's what's going to allow us to really be explosive off the ground. Let's talk about how to strengthen the hamstring and make it stiff. It's important to create stiffness at the right time when we sprint. We're going to do what we call hip pop-ups. So Will, let's have a seat on the ground. Legs are going to be straight. And we want to keep the knees locked, arms to your side. And what we want to do is contract and pop the hips up as high as we can, and keeping the legs straight and locked. It's really important to maintain stability. So right now his hamstrings are firing to keep his hips up in the air, and come back down. And let's bring your feet a little bit closer together. Nope, this way. Keep your legs straight. Good. And let's pop up. And we're gonna hold this for about 6 to 8 seconds. An isometric contraction, stiffening and strengthening the hamstrings. And back down. Let's go one more. And up. You can see Will has decent strength. He's got good range of motion. This is a little bit of a reverse plank, if you will. Really important to go through this with control. And down. Now, what we're going to do is go a single leg. Right leg up in the air, Will. And let's pop up. Good. This is tougher. This is tougher. We might hold this for 4 seconds and down. Let's go up. 4 seconds. And down. Let's go the other leg. Up. And down. Good. Up. And down. Good. Let's stand back up. That's a good job. That's a good job. Now, let's just be clear. When we talk about what we call hip pop-ups off the ground, straight leg hip pop-ups, what's important, you're really firing the hamstrings. You're creating an isometric contraction. That means you're contracting the muscle and it's not moving. You're getting it to create some stiffness. And what's important when we sprint, when that foot hits the ground, that hamstring has to be strong and stiff. It's going to create a more dynamic spring. That's the secret to hamstring power and speed on the track, on the field, on the court. You got to have flexibility in the hip flexors, and you got to make sure the glutes are firing. So in previous videos, we talked about glute firing or glute amnesia, when glutes don't fire quick enough, we're not firing effectively, why the hamstring sometimes has to work overtime, and that's when you come into some challenges with injuries. So guys, include hip pop-ups into your training. I guarantee if you do this and you strengthen those hamstrings and create some stiffness at the right time, you're going to run faster and jump higher. Great job, Will.